It's finally the last Miguel versus Robbie debate of the show, unless there's a spin-off. And with the end of Cobra Kai, I obviously have to do my scheduled Miguel versus Robbie video. So, you know what? Screw the long intro. This is Miguel versus Robbie in Season 6, Part 3. So first off, it's quite already easy to see the major differences in them. Robbie goes 5-5 with Axel at his best, and, arguably would have beaten him if the third round played out. And Miguel just cooks the guy at his peak. It's actually really easy to scale them this season, as at their peaks, they fought a common opponent. Axel fights both Miguel and Robbie, and not gonna lie, it's quite one-sided. Miguel simply does have a better performance against Axel than Robbie ever did, as Robbie went relative and slightly was doing better towards the end, but then there's Miguel who just kind of cooked Axel after getting an amp from Johnny. The only caveat I will say is the fact that the Axel that fought Miguel was kind of weird because he didn't cheat against Miguel but did against Robbie. And no matter how you see it as, oh, he just wanted to fight fair, bro. Either way, cheating is shown to amp Axel to the point where he no-diffs Robbie. So cheating is clearly a boost for him. The fact that he didn't cheat against Miguel here tells me he just wasn't at his peak mentally and skill-wise since he didn't want to cheat. And I'm not saying he is mentally nerfed. I'm just saying his mindset isn't as controlled by Wolf in the fight with Miguel. And we see that Axel's strength thrives off of what Wolf is saying. And there's literally like so many examples of this in Axel's fight. I don't really know if you can argue with this. And, the increase in skill-wise is basically just me saying that he went from relative to Robbie to negging him. So either way, cheating is a boost for him no matter how you see it. And I don't think there's really a way to argue with that. So, in short, the Axel that fought Miguel is a bit weaker than the Axel that fought Robbie. But either way, I don't actually think there's proof that Axel could have injured Miguel even if he did cheat. Which is why, even if Axel was a little weaker in the fight against Miguel, I don't think that matters much anyways. Miguel simply does better against Axel when he's not cheating. And Miguel's superior speed scaling and agility, due to him kind of violating Axel like this without Axel really getting any blows in, kind of shows me that he would not have been able to break Miguel's spine if he tried. Robbie does have a secret weapon up his sleeve though, which is his adaptability. This has been the theme of Season 6 of Robbie's fighting, and it's honestly shown itself quite a lot in very good ways. Robbie fights round 1 against Axel, he kind of gets cooked. Then round 2, he does significantly better. And in round 3, he likely would have gotten better as well, as once again, he is adapting to Axel's fighting style. I believe if Miguel takes too long to beat Robbie, he could start to get himself in a little bit of a pickle. I'm not saying that he would lose, even if it took him too long to beat Robbie, but I'm saying that it would be harder than if he just kind of one-shotted Robbie at the start of the fight, even though that's not likely either, but I digress. Robbie's adaptability is simply his best weapon, but there's also something important to mention, and since Miguel's offense is significantly better than Axel's to the point of no debate, I don't think Miguel is going to take long enough to beat Robbie to the point that Robbie could adapt. Robbie at his peak is super relative to Axel, who Miguel closes a huge point gap on in such a short period of time too. Robbie does have the better defense, but Miguel would probably be fine breaking through his defense enough before Robbie could fully adapt to what's going on. And either way, I'm not even sure if I would give Robbie the defense point, considering, Miguel at his best just did not get hit by Axel. But, you know what, to be nice, we'll give the defense point to Robbie today. In conclusion, I just don't see how Robbie could win this fight. His defense is good to the point where he could scrap with someone like Axel and go very relative, but the thing is he still gets hit, right? And Miguel's offense is just simply better than Axel's and would break through Robbie's defense at least eventually. And I don't actually see that Robbie can very easily land a hit on Miguel either, considering, Axel and Robbie's offense is kind of the same, but Axel cannot really hit Miguel. You know what I mean? But then again, it kind of goes back to the caveat that I talked about how the Axel that fought Miguel is a little bit weaker than the Axel that fought Robbie. And I'm standing on that, by the way. I'm standing on that. Anyways, basically, I see it goes like this. Miguel goes on the offensive and beats Robbie up for a bit. And then eventually, Robbie starts being able to counter his moves a little bit more. But like Miguel did with Axel, he just changes things up a bit and starts beating up Robbie again. And eventually, he'll get the win like that. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. Miguel wins by, I think, a pretty hefty amount. And yeah, that's probably, like, you know, weird to say. It's going to be the last Miguel versus Robbie video that I kind of do. Although, of course, there's going to be, like, every season, and, you know, maybe, like, I'll throw up some weird matchups here and there. But, you know, from now, the conventional season-to-season debate, this is the last one. So, yeah, that's all I got for today. Eat your greens, stay healthy. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.